What's up, everybody? Eric here, driver lineup, world's okay steering wheel holder. It's been a couple weeks, but checking in with you guys to say first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's home, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone out on the road driving. Hopefully you can, if you're on the road, hopefully you can make the best of it, and hopefully it's a good day. Man, it's bright right now. So mine's interesting. I'm losing half of my trip, which paying over $3 a mile. Was an amazing, perfect load. Just perfect load that my fleet manager was involved in, and he was super excited, and everything got set up just right for me to have this just great load that ran through the holiday and paid really well going down to Laredo. And the time on it was just right. Everything was right. It was supposed to deliver Saturday morning, and it would let me kind of chill out for Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. Well, the customer messaged, I don't know, yesterday or whenever it was, I guess they're getting a bunch of emails this morning that they're demanding that the load be there at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, which to me is really bizarre. I don't know how they think it's okay to just, in the middle of a trip, demand that a load show up 24 hours early. You know, I've experienced a lot where it's like, hey, it's going to be 24 hours later, but we ain't open on Saturday, so we're going to need it 24 hours early. That one's a puzzle to me, but that's what's happened. And it's like, well, first of all, I didn't agree to that. You know, the load's proposed to me to deliver on the 25th, I think, which Saturday, then I'm going to get it there on Saturday. And if they have to change it to later, then we can fight for transit delay and all that detention, and it'll be later. That's trucking. But in the middle of a trip to demand that a load get there 24 hours early is bizarre to me. But that's what's happened on my Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving morning right now. So even if I wanted to get there at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, I couldn't. I've got like 660 miles or something like that, and I don't get my time back. I just parked. I don't get my time back tonight until basically I'd be 80 to 90 miles short if I ran a full 11. Or yeah, because I wouldn't be able to. By the time that I'd have a full clock, I'd be starting too late to make it to this new appointment. So it's just a big time bummer, because the load pays so well, and the load that I'm getting, because I'm getting repowered, I just talked to the driver, the load that I'm getting, I'm assuming doesn't pay anywhere remotely close to what this one pays. I mean, it's really good. So it is what it is. I'm going to stick up for Prime on this one, because a lot of times it's sales' fault, especially for these weekend appointments, especially in Laredo. Like, I'm still fighting over damn near a full day of detention in Laredo over a messed up appointment. I had an appointment where I think my appointment was like for 0800 in Laredo, and I get to the customer, and the customer's like, we don't even do receiving until 3 p.m. or something like that. You know, like we never do receiving at 8 a.m. So I'm still fighting with sales over that, because I ended up sitting there for the entire day. So it's, you know, because to me, if I'm supposed to be there at 8 a.m. and it should only take a couple hours to be unloaded, but I don't end up leaving there until 6 p.m., then there's a problem. So, you know, that kind of thing I usually get pretty frustrated at sales about. In this particular case, Prime's getting pushed around. I fully 1000% believe that's that's the case right now, where this customer is just, just absolutely going ballistic, being demanding that this load has to be there 24 hours early because they're not open on Saturday. I don't know why that conversation couldn't have happened much sooner, but whatever, it is what it is. It's been, I've got a lot of things I need to update on, but YouTube has just been like so low on my priority list on just managing the fleet and keeping everything afloat and keeping everything, the boats rolling forward and all that good stuff. There's a lot to update on, but it's been, just generally speaking, the trucks are staying busy. I'm staying busy. I just finished like a pretty much non-stop run of good paying, not too tight, but not long, just back-to-back good paying loads. Went from San Antonio to Houston. I went from Houston to Denver. I went from Fort Morgan to Iowa, and then Iowa to where I'm at right now. That was headed for Laredo, and it's just been, steady, good, no big super problems. Cold as shit, man. It was windy. Oh, awful windy going across Nebraska and Colorado a couple nights ago. 45 mile per hour winds, just right on the side of the trailer for a 500 mile drive overnight. It's terrible. Just the cold, and the winter is just, right now where I'm at, it's absolutely beautiful, but the last couple nights, when you've got 45 mile per hour winds, and if it's 22 degrees, it feels a lot different than 22 degrees without wind. So it's just miserable. And you're just dealing with all the shit that cold weather brings, having to constantly air up tires, and trailer airlines, your trailer's losing air while you're parked, and you take these trailers in and there's no air leak. It's like, look, I'm telling you, it's losing all of its air while I'm parked. Can't find any air leaks. That's the winter for you. But no significant big problems at all. It's just been, the grind. I'm going to be running Thanksgiving and Christmas to make sure that my trucks have the opportunity to go home if they need to go home. So that's my plan, is just to stay out for the entire holidays. I'm really curious to see if there'll be any kind of a bonus structure, because I very seriously doubt there will be any kind of a bonus structure for Christmas this year. And they did the raffle last year, which there was a lot of controversy over the truck giveaways and stuff like that. So I may, if there is no bonus structure at all, which I wouldn't be upset about, because look, the freight market is what it is. Like, they're not going to have problems having enough trucks out to meet the freight demand. So, if they don't need to provide an incentive, they're not going to. So if there's no bonus structure, I may try to dip home for a day or two for Christmas, but outside of that, I'm going to be running through the holidays. So that's my plan. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But nothing else really big going on. I mean, I still want to do, I've got a couple videos I want to do. I definitely want to do the T-Mobile unlimited internet review, which I'm extremely happy with, and I know I've gotten a lot of requests for that. So I'll still do that. I've got some market updates. Like I said, I think in my last video, I've been in constant conversation with some of the folks with Freight Waves and some really interesting analysts. And as I said in the last video, I think there's good and bad news. In summary, the bad news is we're not really making more stuff, and people are not buying more stuff. So, there's that problem. The good news is a lot of trucking companies are shutting down. It's not good news for those shutting down. It's horrible news for those shutting down, or for those just quitting altogether, parking a truck and going home. bad news for them. But at the 30,000 foot view for the lopsided freight market, it's a good thing, and it's necessary, and it's natural. There's just way too much capacity. Way too many people went out and bought a bunch of trucks during the COVID surge, and freight is not there to support that, sustain that type of capacity. But it is starting to come down, and it's starting to, honestly, capacity's beginning its cratering. So, you know, if you're looking for good news going into 2024, it may be that there's far, far less trucks next summer, and there's a lot more parking. So that's kind of the short summary of the good and the bad, and I need to talk a lot more about that. I just need to do more YouTube. I just been going, man. I just been staying busy and working my butt off to, you know, focus on my business and focus on getting things on track and just dealing with all that, you know. So I've really kind of just enjoyed, instead of doing a lot of YouTube, just talking to drivers. I'm talking to drivers every single night while driving, and I mean by phone, you know, and I've enjoyed that sort of one-on-one, more personal connection with everybody than I've enjoyed YouTube. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just been more enjoyable to me. I drive like exclusively at night, so I like having those conversations while I'm driving. I can usually burn off the first 180 miles in a drive in one phone call, and I haven't previously been a big phone call guy, so that's just why I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube. Anyway, that reefer just kicked on, so I'm gonna cut this one off, but I just want, you know, again, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Hopefully you're not if you're riding, hopefully you're not going through a repower situation like I am. Man, this sucks. If it had just stayed the way it was, I don't understand how, anyway, I just don't understand how a customer can just like have this expectation that a load is going to be delivered a full 24 hours early. To me, that seems so unreasonable. You know, it's not uncommon for it to be like, hey, oops, we're closed. It'll have to be the next day. It seems very uncommon to me that it's like, hey, we want that truck here a day early. It's like, bro, it doesn't easily work that way. Anyway, guys, be safe, make good decisions, always drive to thrive. Talk to you all soon.